Alright guys, so I initially wasn't going to make this video because I'm installing polyurethane bushings on my Z, which requires me taking out the old differential bushings out. I wasn't going to do this video because I figured it's simple enough, but then I figured since a lot of people are buying 350Zs and are going to need to do this eventually because those bushings blow out, and it is kind of tricky and really hard to get out if you don't know what you're doing. So I thought I'd make this video, even though I'm like almost halfway through it, but I can still show you the setup that I have. Let me get under the car. Okay, so basically what I have going on, this right here is a ball joint press or puller. You can find this at most tool like places and stuff. And the bushing is in here. You won't see the bushing right now because it's in between those washers. And those washers are actually from the differential, which they go under right here. So you will always have those available. So what I did, I stuck both washers, because you're gonna have two of them. Both washers are stuck in there, so there's no risk of bending the washers itself. And then I just stick a bolt in there just to keep them from falling out. Then I use the ball joint press. I put it on one end. I jacked it up and actually put a lot of force on this jack to hold the whole thing up in place and stop it from just falling or something like that. And then I have, I borrowed this stuff from my work. I have one of these giant circle metal things. These are basically for like fabrication stuff. I have a thinner version or a skinnier version of that up in there. I have that on the other side, and to center that up, I have this steel block that's about 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's actually a pretty big block. I have it set over the circle piece like that, and then the U-joint press, or sorry, ball joint press comes in from the other side. And then I stick a big wrench on this side and I basically start tightening it. And I'll show you guys what that looks like right now. Slowly but surely it'll come out. You have to put a lot of torque on this. That bushing is pressed in there really tight. I hope you guys like the video footage. I just got a new camera, so everything should look nice and crisp. Almost out, almost there, boys. You have to make sure that this bolt, the center bolt, doesn't get pinched or anything. So that's a very important bolt that holds the diff up, so you can't afford to damage that. Okay, I feel, okay, at some point it's gonna stop tightening up and it's gonna just tighten up completely, which means it's bottomed out on the other side. And I'll show you guys what to do when you get to that point. Okay, it tightened up. So at this point, what you want to do is loosen the U-joint or the ball joint press back up, and it's up to you guys, but from here you can try to hammer it out of there. That should work just fine. But I have neighbors that don't like me because of my loud cars and loud working noises. So I will actually try to keep pressing this out by using the taller one. And I'll show you guys how you can do that too. Alright, and just for the record, it is not easy putting all those pieces up there and trying to hold them up at once and then trying to put this on. So you at least need 4 hands to do this. So if you're doing this, make sure you have a friend over or someone helping you that can help you do this. But I don't have any friends, so I have to do this myself. So I'm going to let the jack back down. You have to be very careful not to let anything fall because it's going to come straight down on your face. Okay, once the jack is out of the way, slowly start taking the pieces out. Make sure it's loose enough. This stuff is kind of heavy. But yeah, I mean, I can do this because I do this all the time. But if you're like someone new doing this or don't have much experience working on cars, this is going to be next to impossible for you to do. So that's what that big steel piece looks like that I had up there. Just a big slab of steel. Get that out of the way, and now we'll take this out. This is the other piece that I had up there. Now we pull the bearing press. So it is now the next day. I finally got the bushing out of there, the old one. So that when I was taking it out, the press actually did damage the inside surface of that. So that's no biggie. You just sand it out or file it down, whatever you need to do to get that smooth and clean the inside of that up. And then for the particular bushing that I got, sorry, let me adjust my brightness here. The bushing that I got, it requires you to pull this thing off your old bushing, which I did. Basically, just all I did was put it in a vise, put the whole bushing in a vise. The bushing is about this big, and just hammer this outside or inside part out, and then this will slide in there like that, and it's gonna become flush all the way against this thing. And then that back bolt on the diff, that will bolt on to that. That's your main bushing. That's the one that always goes out on these. If you guys have ever had a wheel hop issue, it's usually caused by this. So I will show you guys how to install that now. Quick note: when you install this, leave this thing outside until you have this in, because it needs room to contract like that when you're trying to hammer it in. This is pretty easy. Basically, all you do is lube up that hole and then slide it in. It's pretty simple. I know this is a boring, kind of a boring video, guys. It's not much editing, just straight up raw footage. It's more of an informational video than an entertainment video, so if you're someone who's doing this, it's probably helpful watching this. That is really close to falling.